Welcome to the RadioU podcast. Coming up, the ultimate food collab is happening.
Also, YouTube is going to start guessing your age.
All that and more on the way next. It's the food equivalent of Jay-Z and Beyonce. 8772 RadioU. The snack version of Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner. Two stars coming together that shining so bright already on their own. And now they're joining forces. It's happening. Reese's and Oreo are getting together.
Oh, wow.
What? What? Oreos x Reese's? Are you kidding me? I'm so excited I'm saying Reese's the wrong way.
Yeah, you are saying it the way that everybody else says it.
Yeah. Everybody else continues to be incorrect, but you can call it whatever you want. I'm just going to call this exciting because Oreo and Reese's have announced, have made it official that they are teaming up for two different items that will be coming, I almost want to say next month because it should be in September.
Okay.
They will be putting out a Reese's filled Oreo and then also a Reese's that actually has Oreo pieces inside.
Wow.
That is insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah, technology has come such a far way. And these two different companies being able to put aside their differences and not compete, but instead work together to make the world a better place.
Yeah.
You love to see it.
You do love to see it. Yeah, this is going to be a great collab, one that we will definitely try on the show whenever these do come out.
Mm-hmm. We should be looking for these in September. And from what I've heard, these might be, even if they tell you they're limited time, they might actually be permanent.
They might be sticking around forever?
Yeah, this could be a long-term thing.
Wow, that's even crazier. Because usually these like collabs are like, all right, we're doing it for a couple months, but then it's gone. So to see one stick around forever is quite crazy.
I feel like with some of that, like when you see Reese's and Oreos, they both do this, is put out like all kinds of different flavors that stray away from the main product.
Seasonal stuff.
Yeah, and that's like, and then they say limited time to like kind of get you excited of like, you got to make sure you try this before it goes away. But they know that Oreo and Reese's collaborating is so exciting that it doesn't matter if it was limited time or not, you'd still be rushing out and looking for this on your next shopping trip. So I think that there's no reason to limit this.
No, they're invested in the success of this. They know they've done the market research. They know this is going to do well.
Well, that must have been tough research to do. Hey, you know how you like Reese's and you know how you like Oreos? Would you like them together? And everybody said yes. Like what?
Yeah.
What kind of question is this?
Not hard at all.
I can't believe that it took this long for it to happen in a way. Now the question is, what's next?
I don't know, but I'm excited to try these. I honestly, even though I'm very familiar with the flavor profile of both of these things, them together, I can't quite figure out how it's going to taste in my mind.
I'm also curious because for Oreo, I mean, they've both done things that are similar, but not actually. Like, there's been Reese's that have had the cookies inside, but not specifically Oreos. And there's been peanut butter Oreos and peanut butter chocolate Oreos and peanut butter pie Oreos.
Right.
So how will the Reese's ones distinctly be different from those? Will be interesting to see. But all of those, of course, have all been good.
Yeah.
So this could be the collab to just actually end all collabs. This might just be it.
Yeah, there no more needed.
Happy Gilmore 2, of course, premiered on Netflix over the weekend. If you saw it, let us know what you thought at 8772 RadioU. But a lot of people watched Happy Gilmore 2. Not only was it the biggest premiere ever for an Adam Sandler movie on Netflix, which you think about it, he's had a deal with Netflix. There's been a lot of Adam Sandler movies premiere on Netflix.
There has been.
But it's not just the biggest Adam Sandler premiere on Netflix. This is Netflix. They say that this is the biggest movie premiere, the biggest opening weekend for any movie on Netflix ever.
That's so crazy to me because I feel like we always hear these stats every single year from Netflix. We got a new biggest premiere ever, biggest show ever. So I guess people are just continually subscribing to Netflix and they're growing their subscriber base because these numbers keep going up.
Yeah, and this is something that feels like it has such a wide appeal to everybody.
That's true, yeah.
Like it's just somehow cross generations, just across walks of life. Almost everybody has seen the first Happy Gilmore.
Yep.
And if they hadn't, they watched it this weekend on Netflix as well because it was the third most streamed movie on Netflix this weekend.
Nice.
And then they went straight into Happy Gilmore 2. And yeah, I mean, it is true. Netflix is, I think, known because all their data is mostly their own.
Yeah.
Like they don't let a lot of third parties that would be independent track what they're doing.
Right.
And what people are watching on there too meticulously. And so that does make it hard to actually know. Like they can say it's the most watched movie ever, but they use different metrics to like say that about different things where it's technically true, but also it might not be as impressive stats as you would be led to believe by that notion. But I think this actually is, I mean, they say 46.7 million people, or it had 46.7 million views on Netflix this weekend.
Interesting. I know the place that does do a lot of the streaming data is Nielsen, and they break it down based off of minutes watched. So it'll be interesting to see when they start reporting on Happy Gilmore 2 how many minutes watched it was.
Yeah. Now, assuming this is like as impressive as it sounds, are comedies back? Is this the summer of comedy?
I mean, I would think that comedies never really went away because there's still...
I don't know. Name the last good comedy.
I don't know if I would say last good comedy because I feel like my comedic tastes have changed. As far as like, not they've changed, but comedic movies have changed. And so maybe I'm just not enjoying comedy films
changed,
as much.
Like they're not really making good ones.
Yeah, that might be the best way to describe it. But I still feel like there's been some successful comedies over the years. But I guess I'm not really thinking of many. But I don't watch comedy movies that much, so I'm the bad person to ask. For this.
I think we're finally, comedies are coming back. This is the sign that we're ready for comedy again. That people are ready to laugh at movies. I don't
think we stopped laughing.
It's been since like The Hangover that there's been like a...
Well, see, now I would say The Hangover is dumb. I would say I don't like it.
The world would disagree because it did very well. But there hasn't been a like successful big comedy that I like. The closest thing, I don't even know, like Game Night. Like people haven't been watching comedies.
Game Night's like almost 10 years old now.
I know, it's been a long time. And even that wasn't like the top tier. And even that wasn't like... I don't know if that was a true comedy. So it's been a long time since we've had like real comedies that have like people have talked about where you just know everybody's seen it. And this could be the door opening back up again. It's not going to be on the same level, but we're getting another Naked Gun movie later this summer that's actually coming out in theaters.
I keep seeing a lot of advertising for this.
Like they're really promoting it because they think people are going to go see it. So I think the door has been opened again. We're ready to laugh again.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm not.
Creators are ready to make us laugh in movies again.
That might be true. For me, the slapstick humor, not a huge fan of it, so probably not going to appeal to me. But if people want to laugh at that stuff, then
we want to laugh at something.
Okay.
And it's finally time.
8772 Radio U.
We want to know your ideal type of Airbnb.
Okay.
There's two reasons I bring this up. One, you and I are each separately about to go on Airbnb vacations.
Yes.
In the next couple weeks. Also, more importantly, Ryan Trahan on YouTube and his wife Haley completed their 50 Airbnbs in 50 states in 50 days challenge. The final video was posted yesterday. They did it.
They did it.
They raised over $11 million for St. Jude, which is obviously
crazy.
Amazing. So it's all for a good cause. But they stayed in 50 different unique Airbnbs. And so, of course, at the end of this, I'm thinking like, and they have a ranking of all of them. But I'm thinking like, what kind of Airbnb would be the best? Because they showed how there just is so many different styles.
Right.
Where there's like, they stayed at a lot of container homes, just kind of cottages in the mountains. beachside stuff, a lighthouse, and then there's like the themed ones where it was literally like a missile silo or a plane or a train caboose turned into an Airbnb.
Right.
What would be the most fun or the ideal Airbnb to you?
Ah, man, it's tough because I feel like they chose a lot out of the OMG category.
Yeah.
You know, the ones that are like, whoa, these are crazy. But for me, I think I'm more leaning into the ones that are like architecturally cool, but probably more realistic for a real home and just really relaxing. That's kind of what I'm looking for with an Airbnb, one that I can relax and enjoy time
So it
in.
has to have a hot tub.
Definitely.
Is what you're saying.
I would love for it to have a hot tub
That's
if
a
it can, because that's nice. That's a nice amenity. And also, I, in my apartment, don't have a tub. It's a shower only.
Oh, yeah.
So I look for, if an Airbnb has like one of those big soaker tubs, I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah. When my trip coming up with my family this weekend, we're trying to, we're like 10 people or something like that.
Yeah.
I think there's 10 or 11 of us all trying to just agree on an Airbnb.
Oh, that's tough.
But like the one box that everybody knew to check is like, all right, we're looking for one with a hot tub.
Yeah,
we have to have a hot tub at an Airbnb.
Anytime my family has looked for an Airbnb together too, we always say that as well. It's like, if we can get a hot tub, that would be awesome.
All right, 8772 Radio U, get in the group chat and let us know your ideal type of Airbnb. Just describe your dream Airbnb. I've got some thoughts on mine. Obviously, I've had a lot of time to think about this, 50 days.
Yeah.
We are talking about your dream Airbnb. What would be the best, just describe the best Airbnb you can imagine in your mind, because Ryan Trahan on YouTube just stayed at 50 in 50 U.S. states in 50 days. Pretty amazing. Regina says, first of all, glad you shared about Ryan and Haley's journey because I loved it as well. She says the Treetopia Treehouse, which was number 1 on their rankings. Shout out to Radio U Oklahoma because it was in Oklahoma. She says that looks so fun. She wants a place that's beautiful and not with a beautiful view and not in a neighborhood.
Yeah, so away from everybody else. I think I like that idea as well, because most Airbnbs that I'm thinking of that I've really, really enjoyed have been a little bit more secluded, private. So you don't have to worry about any prying eyes on your vacation.
See, I was thinking different of like, I love all the beautiful views and that's a must for an Airbnb, but I don't want it to be too far out of the way. Some of the ones that Ryan and Haley had stayed in were very isolated to where like, can you just run into town and get food?
Yep, good point.
I want to be able to just go and get stuff if I need it,
Right.
Susanna said the best Airbnb has a comfy, medium firm mattress within walking distance of a good coffee shop and close to a jazzercise center that I can go to a few classes while I'm there.
Nice.
Yeah, the
Very
coffee shop is so that's a must.
Yeah, I remember there's another guy that does like Airbnb tours on YouTube, and he always is like looking for nice coffee shops to stop at whenever he stays at Airbnbs. So that helps him make his decision on what an ideal Airbnb stay is.
Yeah.
you know?
Like it wouldn't be, first of all, the coffee, they have to just have a coffee maker in the Airbnb.
Yes.
Is obvious, but
That's
then
a must.
The near a good coffee shop is because we're on vacation. We want to get fun coffee.
Yeah.
So that's important as well.
Yeah. And then we heard from Tim, and I think this might be my favorite answer. He says he wants a log cabin big enough to fit multiple families. It has to be in the mountains with lots of snow during Christmas time. AKA, I want a Hallmark scene for Christmas.
That sounds nice, though.
Yeah, I think that sounds so beautiful and fun. And I have saved more than a few of cabins like that on my Airbnb wish list for like a family Christmas in the future. Because I think it would be so fun to travel with your family to go to like, I don't know, Boone, North Carolina, or go into the mountains in West Virginia or something and just enjoy the snow, maybe do some skiing, be in a cabin together on Christmas morning. I love that.
I've definitely kicked around the idea of getting the family together for a Gatlinburg Christmas.
Ooh, that'd be so fun.
I know. The only thing is everybody's like, but what if it snows while we're there and then we're stuck?
Yeah, people are always right. People are always worried about that, getting snowed in, having extreme weather, whatever. But my family for the past few years has done an Airbnb cabin for Christmas, just a local one. But it is really fun to get away together for Christmas Christmas and have a spot that's like actually big enough to host your whole family.
Right.
So yeah,
you don't feel like you're too crammed in once once there's so many kids that start to get involved and everything
Right.
and all the significant others. After watching this for 50 days, what I've decided is that one, I'm obsessed with the water. So I love the Mountain View ones are beautiful to me, but I need like a body of water.
Okay.
So I would take the beach over the mountains, but I mean, maybe even more ideal is a summer lake
in
like
the mountains?
basically Lake Tahoe, probably.
Yeah.
In a house that's right on the lake. And I don't care that much about like the theming of the Airbnb doesn't do that much for me. Especially if it's like they stayed in a plane. I feel like that'd be fun at first, but it'd be cramped and you wouldn't be comfortable.
Yeah.
It would wear out its, novelty pretty quickly.
Yep.
But I do want big windows. I want giant windows on a body of water. And if it's in the mountains, that's a bonus.
Yeah, that
And
sounds
coffee.
very relaxing, very fun. But yeah, those are like all things that you need to look for when you're looking for a fun, relaxing vacation Airbnb home.
I'm so glad that this series ended right before I'm about to go to an Airbnb.
Well, one thing that I've been working on the past few months has been growing my endurance when it comes to running, growing my stamina. I have never really been a runner before, but this year I was determined to make it a hobby, make it a habit to run every single week, at least 3 times a week. And eventually I hope to make it more of a daily habit if I can.
Yeah.
But
Before the show.
I don't run before the show. That'd be so early. That'd be
Some people used to do that here.
it'd be like 3 a.m.
Yeah, former hosts.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I feel like that's unsustainable.
it could be done, but as a single female to run by myself in the dark, maybe not the smartest idea. So I usually run after the show. After the show, I'll get changed into my workout clothes, and then I'll head out from here and go.
The heat of the day, smart.
I mean, what I'm thinking is, and this is another thing with the growing endurance, is yesterday I went for a run and it was super hot here in Ohio.
Yeah.
High humidity. And so, was I sweating a lot? I was. But guess what? It's going to make it easier for me to run down the line when it's like cold outside because it'll feel so good.
And hello, you're just going to sweat no matter what. You're running miles.
No matter what you run, you are definitely going to sweat.
My quick running story is I recently was like, I need to do some other kind of workout. Let me see if I can run a mile.
Yeah.
And I found that I cannot make it a mile continually while running, even though I walk
hard.
miles and miles every day. I can't run a mile without slowing down.
It is absolutely difficult to have the endurance, to have the stamina, to just keep running, to keep moving. And so that's kind of why I wanted to mention this, because it's truly something that you have to learn to do. You have to grow that type of stamina and that type of endurance, the lung capacity, and just the wherewithal to just push past your mental block to keep going, because your brain just tells you, stop, you're tired, you're breathing too hard, stop. This is not what you want to keep doing. You just have to push past that. And so I feel like I've been getting better and better and better, which is awesome, because you just have to keep at it and you will get better. And suddenly running this amount of distance isn't as hard as it used to be. And so I was thinking about this and I was like, isn't that kind of like how it is when you grow in your relationship with God?
Sure.
Over time, you're growing that endurance, you're growing that stamina, and you're learning how to handle the struggles and the things that we go through in life, because there's everything gets thrown at us in this life. I mean, I've never talked to somebody that's been like, yep, I've never had any issues, any problems whatsoever. I mean, I feel like if you're breathing, you have problems.
It's crazy how if you... even though we all kind of don't want to have a conversation about it, when somebody just asks you, how's it going? Nobody's ever like, fantastic. Maybe 1 out of 10 people at most are like, I'm doing amazing. It's usually fine at best. And a lot of times they're like, I've had a week, that's how everybody answers the question. So we're all going through something, even if in the scheme of the world, it doesn't seem like it's that big.
Yeah, exactly. There's always something that we're going through, whether it's car troubles, finances, relationships, whatever it may be. But it's something that doesn't need to overwhelm us. It doesn't need to swallow us. It doesn't need to bring us down. It doesn't mean that those things go away, and it doesn't mean that those things aren't real struggles. They are. But I think it's true that when you have a relationship with God, he gives you the tools. It's like you have the tool belt to handle this and to make it through these struggles. And as you grow in that relationship with him, you will grow in your endurance. You'll grow in the stamina to handle life's struggles.
If you want to experience that, having God as basically like a coach, a trainer to train you up so that you can keep going even when there's more and more resistance going against you, start talking to God wherever you are. Say, hey, Jesus, I need that in my life. You can go to radiou.com/free gift to find out more. Only Deion Sanders could parlay high-risk cancer into an endorsement deal. He's done it. He defeated cancer.
Yes.
He had bladder cancer. And 8772 Radio U, he's turned it into an endorsement deal with Depends.
This is crazy. I saw this. I didn't see this part, but I saw that, they had announced that he had underwent surgery to remove his bladder because he had cancer. It was
a mystery for a while. Like he kind of, Deion Sanders, the coach, Coach Prime of Colorado University, he had kind of disappeared for a while. And people, there was talk that he was sick, but nobody knew what was wrong or exactly what was going on. And now it just recently came out that he had bladder cancer. The doctors say it was high risk because they say high grade invading through the bladder wall, not into the muscle layer. I don't know exactly what that means, but either way, they were nervous about it.
Yeah, they called it very high risk, non-muscle invasive bladder cancer. So they had to remove his bladder.
Yeah. So what does that mean though? I'm not clear. Did they remove his bladder, take it out, do the surgery, and then put it back in? Because you can't live without a bladder, right?
That's what I was wondering. I was like, did he get a bladder transplant? Is that a possibility?
Or does he constantly have... So his endorsement deal is with Depends, because in the press conference where he was talking about this, he said, I truly depend on Depend. I cannot control my bladder. I guess you wouldn't say I cannot control my bladder if you didn't have one anymore.
Yeah, that's what
Or would you? Because it'd be hard to control it if it's not in your body.
If it's not there. I don't know exactly how this works. I'm not a medical professional. I've never had anyone in my family that's had bladder cancer before. So if you know the details of this, you can let us know. 8772 Radio U, what exactly this means. But either way, he's not able to control that function. And so Depends is a natural, I guess, partnership now for him, because he actually needs them.
But leave it to Coach Prime to make Depends cool.
I know. He's literally
to remove the stigma.
Right. I love that, though, because it's true. A lot of people do need them. But he said in his press conference, he's like, I truly depend on Depend. And he also said, he's like, if you see a porta potty on the sidelines, because he's still planning to coach.
Yeah, of course.
He's like, it's real and it's going to be used. So don't even question it.
Yeah. Yeah. I also, let me expose more of my ignorance. So first of all, I don't know how the bladder cancer, them removing his bladder works.
Yeah.
I also don't know how it says here, Depends has confirmed that they have a deal with Deion Sanders to promote Depends, which they market as an alternative to adult diapers. Bro, what is the difference between Depends and adult diapers? How are they different? Aren't Depends adult diapers just a brand name?
I guess, but I think they do mimic probably more traditional underwear. So maybe it's the pull-up version.
They're adult They're not adult diapers. They're adult pull-ups.
Oh, I don't know.
They're adult good nights.
I don't know how to talk about this without being sounding awful.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound bad.
No.
I don't want to be mean to people that need this.
I know. And no, we're not being mean. We just don't know. We just don't understand
We don't understand.
And it's fine. You can still laugh about it.
Yeah.
But
sure.
I am just truly amazed by Deion Sanders. I have not been a fan of some of the stuff he's done at Colorado and, with Shador and everything.
Right.
But he had a truly amazing quote, too. Somebody asked him at the press conference, they said, how did it feel staring death in the face or something like that? And he goes, I was staring life in the face. Yeah. And I was like, dang,
That's a good way to put that.
Yeah, isn't that powerful?
Yeah. All right, Deion.
I know.
I'm starting to like you a little bit more because I was the same way. I wasn't a huge Deion Sanders fan.
He was kind of irritating.
A lot of the stuff that was happening with Shedeur with the draft was annoying. But, I mean, this is just something where, cancer is a reality in a lot of people's lives. And to see somebody, overcome it, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And so, hoping for all the best for him.
Yeah. Shout out to Deion Sanders. I'm going to go grab some Depends after the show. It happened again for the fourth time. Siren's Curse, the newest roller coaster at Cedar Point, shut down.
Oh my goodness.
Did you see the videos of this?
I did.
Not only did it shut down, it was in the middle of the ride and they had to evacuate the riders off of the ride. They had to climb down 160 feet.
Oh my gosh.
Down to the ground.
That's crazy. Yeah, I saw the videos.
That'd be scarier than actually riding it.
Right, exactly. I saw the videos of the riders literally clinging for their lives on the little staircase that's beside the roller coaster. Because you always see that when you're riding the roller coaster. You see the little stairs.
And you're like, that's just for the employees, though.
Right, I don't have to get on that. Yeah. Well, they did, and it did not look like a lot of fun. They looked like they were actually terrified.
And it's much steeper than it looks, too.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
It's one thing to just be up that high anyways, but then it's actually, to go down those steps is definitely steeper than you would think. And
right.
So, man, I would be so nervous. I don't know how people how they can't get this sorted out. The ride's been open for a month. And it's shut down once a week.
I mean, to shut down 4 times or to have a malfunction 4 times is not shocking for a new ride.
Definitely not at Cedar Point.
Yeah, and also it's the type of roller coaster it is, it's got a lot of engineering things that need to go right to make sure that it can operate correctly. Because it's a feat of engineering to have a roller coaster that tips down from one part of a track to another. That's crazy. So what they've created is pretty awesome, and it needs the right type of engineering to work, and so they don't want to take any risks. So I get why they would, make sure if something's wrong, they would evacuate people.
I have a quote here from a mechanical engineer who's written books on the science of roller coasters. His name is Nick Weisenberg. He says it's important to understand that thrill rides like this are over-engineered for fail-safe performance. There are hundreds of sensors that all have to agree, otherwise the ride stops out of an abundance of caution. In other words, because it keeps shutting down actually shows how safe it is.
Right.
Because it just means
they're not going to risk your life.
Any single thing that could be dangerous shuts it down just to be extra safe.
Absolutely. They make those really safe. They test the heck out of them. So don't look at this and think, oh my goodness, it's so terrible. I should never ride it. You'll probably be fine.
But that said, shutting down so many times in such a short span when I already would be afraid to ride it anyways has made me, I'm not exactly rushing out to ride this thing. And it does feel like it says a lot that about once a week, there's one of the bajillion things that can make it shut down that's making it shut down.
Yeah, but again, they're probably working the kinks out maybe a little bit. But yeah.
It feels like something you would do in, I don't know, testing with crash test dummies or something instead of people that have to climb down steps.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. But hopefully they will get all of that stuff worked out. I just hope that they allowed these riders to ride again. Because if you're waiting hours in line to ride the new Cedar Point coaster and that's your experience, that would be awful.
Yeah, or a refund would be nice. Something.
A refund.
Some free hot dogs, whatever.
Yeah, a free little souvenir cup.
Give me
take that.
Yeah, unlimited refills.
Yes.
Let's go. Heads up. What you say to ChatGPT could land you in jail. 8772 RadioU. This was something confirmed by the CEO of OpenAI, which is the company that's in charge of ChatGPT, Sam Altman. A quote he made in a recent podcast. He says, if you go to talk to ChatGPT about your most sensitive stuff and then there's a lawsuit, we could be required to produce that. And I think that's very screwed up that you would have to turn that over. But that's not wrong, right? Just because you say it to ChatGPT, you think you shouldn't have to turn that over in a court of law?
I was going to say, internet searches, I feel like get subpoenaed all the time.
Yeah.
Because those are used in court of law all the time, where it's like such and such a person that murdered somebody was Googling, how do I cover up a body?
Exactly.
You know, like that type of stuff. And that was used as evidence against them because they, you know, were trying to prove that they committed the crime. So why were you searching this stuff if you didn't commit this crime,
Yeah.
why would you search these things?
I mean,
or why would you ask ChatGPT how to commit murder if you didn't murder?
In a court of, or in a case of a crime, you asking ChatGPT about it doesn't necessarily, like, that's not enough. That would be
No, but it can be helpful evidence.
Yeah, it all can add
supportive.
So I think this is something that we all probably should have known anyways, but because of what you pointed out, like I think it's pretty established that if you Google, whatever you Google could definitely be used against you in a court of law. And why would that same standard not apply to ChatGPT?
Yeah, absolutely. I do know there are some companies that are very restrictive on what access they'll give to like the government or to law enforcement when it comes to like devices like Apple and stuff. Right. So they really do have to like go through a lot of hoops, like the police, if they want to try and search through an Apple phone or something like that. But, those things can be really helpful for them to help solve crimes. So I know that is a tool that they use. And have we ever even thought that technically internet searches were private in the first place? Even the incognito mode lets you know that it's not private.
Right. Even if you aren't concerned about like being caught for a crime, you have to know that like Google and everybody, there's so many companies online that are tracking everything you do and they know all about it. Even if they're not going to turn it over to law enforcement, who knows how that could be used against you, whether because they use it against you to advertise to you or because they get hacked and then that's used against you.
Right.
It sounds a little paranoid, but at the same time, it's not like it's impossible for any of those things to happen.
Yeah.
So be careful what you're asking. Nene was telling me about this yesterday. He said that, what you search on ChatGPT or type in can be used against you in court. And I was like, good thing I have nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
I've never asked it anything that I need to be concerned
incriminating.
about.
Yeah. No, I mean, I've never committed a crime. And so I have never, asked ChatGPT how to do that or do something where it would be like, oh, obviously you are up to no good. But somebody pointed out in a tweet reacting to this news, it's like, great, now they'll have access to all of the weird diseases I thought I had.
Like you thought they didn't know that already. It is interesting, though, that ChatGPT could be used against you for you supposedly committing a crime when you could argue that ChatGPT is committing copyright infringement every single day.
I know. It feels like it's committing crimes all the time.
Yeah, but let's just not think about that.
I guess not.
Collington, do you really love me? Dang it. Now I do kind of want to search like how to commit a murder.
No!
Just to see what it would say.
It probably will just say nothing.
Yeah, it'd say, don't do that. Pop quiz. What does YouTube have in common with a carny? 8772 Radio U.
I wasn't expecting that question.
They'll both try to guess your age.
I forgot that was a thing that happened at carnivals and fairs. So we're like, step right up and we'll guess your age.
I haven't seen that I remember going to Six Flags as a kid.
Yeah, they do it at amusement parks.
Definitely the guess your age thing and the guess your weight. And I was always, I never did it, but I was always like, I bet you I could fool them. I
never tried it either, so yeah.
I was just very confident that I would win, but never got to try that. But YouTube is now getting in on that business. The reason being, they believe, the people that are behind YouTube, but want to just make sure that if you're under the age of 8, like if you're a child, they want to make sure that you're only seeing age-appropriate stuff.
Yeah.
And what do you do if you're like under 18 and you just lie?
You lie about your age.
It's so easy to just flip through the thing and go like, yeah, I was born in 1985. Sure. And
seems like a safe year to choose.
Yeah, like it's not suspicious. It's not like I'm saying I am 18. I'm way older. I can watch whatever I want, all the cusses and whatever I want to see on YouTube. So they are now going to start using what they call an age inference system that will be used on a small set of users in the U.S. before expanding that out wider. But they're going to test it out to see if they can try to curtail seriously actually kids seeing adult stuff on YouTube.
Right. Which I get. That probably is a huge problem, and I feel like it has been for a long time. And many people have pointed out that the safety parameters on YouTube are pretty much non-existent because you can always just click, yep, I'm 18.
Yeah, you just lie.
Yeah. And so, I think this is kind of a way to address it, but also kind of not address it because you can still probably get away with it. And it's just annoying for anybody else that is actually over 18 because if you want to avoid having to deal with these age inference restrictions, which I don't think we have to worry about them because we're probably not watching Minecraft videos. So I doubt YouTube even thinks we're below 18. But you would have to give them your information to prove it if you don't want them to have the restrictions on your account. You would, to avoid it, it says you either have to put in your credit card or your ID, your government ID.
Wild.
Isn't that crazy?
I feel like more people are gonna you say we're not going to have to deal with it, but eventually I feel like they're just going to make everybody do this.
Right. Eventually it's probably going to come your way, which YouTube is a private company. They can have whatever restrictions they want for when it comes to signing up. But this is a huge step in the information thing compared to what they asked for previously, which is have an email address and a password. And that was it.
It's a big jump.
Yeah, it's a huge jump to then be yep, you got to put a credit card or a government ID in.
Come on, YouTube.
That's
don't start
crazy.
ruining. YouTube is the last thing for me.
Well, and I don't trust any website. I just mentioned how I don't trust the Alexa to have that, so because I don't want it listening to me. So I don't trust a website with information that.
But the first time you start searching up Peppa Pig kit murder videos, then it's gonna be are you really 18?
Yeah.
We're gonna need to see that ID, and so. Yeah, this is frustrating. But I understand the heart behind it.
Sure.
I feel like the biggest thing here is going to be parents of kids where the kids use their parents' account. Because then, you're going to have the parents in whatever they watch on YouTube, and then also the kids searching for kids stuff.
Right.
And then YouTube's going to be confused. Yeah, it's going to be very confused.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I just don't know what the right answer is. But like I said, just please don't ruin YouTube for me.
I know.
It's
YouTube
the last
is
thing I can count on.
Exactly. YouTube is the one thing I still use a decent amount of because
I don't even have to pay for it.
Yeah, it's free.
I can just put up with the same Billy Bob Thornton T-Mobile ad over and over again. It's free. We are doing Would You Rather Wednesday. The question is, would you rather babysit for one night the Belcher children from Bob's Burgers, that's Tina, Gene, and Louise, or the Simpsons, not Homer. Maybe you'd have to babysit him too. Bart, Lisa, and Maggie. Who would you rather babysit? Lots of texts coming in.
Yes.
We got to start with John because he has a lot of thoughts.
All right. I'm excited to hear what he thinks.
John said, honestly, if you think about it, both options are kind of a catch-22. Although the children from Bob's Burgers provide a variety of things for you to be aware of as a babysitter, I believe that the Simpsons children provide a classic chaos that most cannot compare to today. I can see Lisa and I yelling so well because we are both musicians. Bart reminds me of my guy friends that I grew up with from elementary school all the way through high school. So I know how to be in the brain of Bart Simpson. And last but not least, sweet little baby Maggie is just so precious and mischievous at the same time that I'm sure I could watch her without any problems. Remind me of the two little twin boys I'm a godfather to.
Okay.
Yeah.
He reminds. Okay, she reminds.
John is picking
The Simpsons.
The Simpsons. Yeah.
All right.
That is a goated comment.
I love all of that
Yes.
summary there from you, John. That was fantastic. Well, we heard from Dee as well. She just said Simpsons.
Okay.
Simple answer.
Yeah.
So we went from the detailed answer to the simple answer.
Quite a juxtaposition. Chad says, seeing as how the Simpsons tied up the babysitter in season 1 or 2, I'll go with the Belchers. Granted, it was the babysitter bandit, but still. Good point, Chad.
Yes, good callback. Susanna says she's never seen Bob's Burgers, so she's picking The Simpsons by default.
Susanna.
and she thinks that they would have a good time.
Yeah, I mean, I think either one would you could definitely have fun.
Yeah, it could go well. It could also go terribly wrong.
William said, I'm only a little bit familiar with Bob's Burgers. Come on, you guys got to get watching Bob's Burgers.
Bob's Burgers is so good, guys.
Yeah.
So good.
He says he would choose the Simpsons kids because it seems like it would be more fun. Just would not want to turn into the episode where Lisa babysat Bart and Maggie. Do you remember that one? Have you seen that, Allie?
I don't think I have.
Bart falls down the stairs.
Okay.
And is knocked unconscious, and Lisa's like wheeling him around in a wheelbarrow throughout town. Yeah, that did not go well.
I bet. I bet.
I think Bart breaks his arm. I don't know. I haven't seen it in a while. I want to hear yours. What's your choice?
I decided that I'm going to go with the Belcher kids.
Okay.
And that was kind of my initial lean. As I mentioned earlier, I feel like my initial lean could either go really well or it could get me killed because I'm pretty sure Louise would try and kill me. Mm-hmm. But I do think I would be like best friends with Tina and Jean.
Yeah.
I think I would truly be best friends with them. So I'm going with the Belcher kids.
I'm also choosing the Belchers, and I feel fairly strongly about this because I think that the kind of mischief that they tend to get into is a little less life-threatening than what Bart can get into.
That's true. I think that's a good summary.
Like, Bart gets into actual, like, crime sometimes.
Right.
Like,
Louise does sometimes, too.
Yeah.
She can get into some crazy things.
I feel, and the Belchers are a little older, too, so I feel like a little,
a little easier.
They're
you don't
a little more
have a baby.
capable, but a little more,
self-sufficient.
Yeah, exactly. Independent.
Yeah.
And I could see me and Lisa like arguing for some reason too. So
getting in an argument.
Yeah, so I'm just I say the Belchers, and I feel good about that.
Yeah.
I think I would have fun with either one though. Like I wouldn't just try to boss them around too much.
No, you just want to have a good time. I think that's the only way you truly could survive is if you go into it thinking, all right, this is not going to be amazing, but we're just going to have a good time.
Yeah, you got to be a chill babysitter. You're not going to treat any of these kids. You can't walk in there with a Vicky from Fairly Odd Parents attitude.
No.
Yeah, it's not going to work.
Thanks for listening to the RadioU podcast. Don't forget to rate and review the show.